my fellow darklings, and welcome to my channel where I mess about with arty and creative things. If that is your jam, then please consider subscribing. In today's video I will be painting this image, which I quickly put together using a range of stock images. So let's get cracking. I started off by roughly sketching the general shape of the spider, so I had in place where I wanted him on the page. First of all, I started on the background, adding my first layer of paint, just getting a general idea for my lights and darks. At this stage, I don't need to worry too much about my brush strokes and my brush directionality. This is just the first layer of paint. I spent about 2.5 to 3 hours on this painting, start to finish. Then I go over my background in more muted colours using a scumbly action, giving the background a smoother, more blended texture. Today I'm using Windsor and Newton Galeria paint. The brushes I use are a number 4 round black pearl by the Silverbrush Company, a number 1 detail brush by TheArtSherpa, and a cheap detail brush I got from the works because I misplaced my TheArtSherpa detail brush halfway through painting. Don't ask me how I did that, it just vanished. I am painting on an A5 Faber-Castell mixed media pad. The pad is super thick, so it takes the paint really well. Acrylic paint is my favourite medium to use when I create art. It is just so versatile and super forgiving. If you make a mistake, you can just erase it with a damp brush if it's still wet, or easily cover it up if it has dried. I love how this background ended up looking, very soft, muted and nondescript. Now I am adding the spiderweb. The first layers can leave your painting looking really ugly, but you just keep adding layers and each layer makes your painting more and more beautiful. I love how the layers underneath shine through and add more interest to the next layers. It's funny, when my husband sees my painting with only the first layer or two, he always says, "Wow, that's shit." Don't worry though, he's only joking. I've told him a million times it's because it's at the ugly stage and just needs more layers. He is actually really supportive of my artistic and he really loved how this painting turned out. So don't worry, he's not being mean. He just thinks it's funny. Just wondering, do you like spiders? Personally, I like to look at them and I love drawing and painting them, but I wouldn't want one crawling on me if you know what I mean. My teenage daughter, Emma, absolutely hates spiders and runs a mile if she sees them. I would happily let them live in the house, but if it's a choice between the spider and my daughter, then she wins. My youngest son, Chris, is not bothered by them at all, so he catches them for her and puts them outside. This is actually the second time painting this background in spiderweb. The first time my brush pressure was too heavy when I painted the spiderweb, so my lines ended up too thick. I just ended up hating how it looked, so I started again. In the end, I was glad that I did because the background on the second attempt looked a million times better. Now on to the first layer of the spider, again just laying in the general shapes. How is everyone during this lockdown? Personally, it's not affected me too much. I hardly went out much anyway, but it has been tricky finding a quiet space to record. I did manage to set up a surface next to my bed, but now that has been invaded by my youngest son Chris, who is currently next to me bouncing around. Not the best when you're trying to paint. Now adding more and more layers, building up the shapes, tones and textures. He is still very much in the ugly stage, but you just got to keep on adding those layers until you're happy with the way it looks. As you can see, my lovely son Tom made me a brew, so there is some perks to having the kids at home. And the brew is not as milky as it looks on screen. It actually was a pretty good cup of tea. I can't stand milky brews. How about you? I like my brews to stew for quite a while. What do you think makes the perfect brew? Or are you a coffee drinker? I'm a stereotypical Brit in that way. I love drinking tea. It's pretty much the only thing I do drink. So what has everyone been up to keep themselves occupied during lockdown? Along with working, looking after the kids and everything else I normally would be doing, I started a new world on Minecraft. I absolutely love that game. As you can probably tell, I am a very creative type of person, so Minecraft lets me flex those creative muscles, but in a different kind of way. Plus, I find mining super relaxing and I love cave exploring. I am by no means a gamer, so I do play on easy. My son says I should just play on creative, but I like the challenge of having to gather my own resources, though I really wish you could turn creepers off. They are so annoying, blowing up my lovely world. Luckily though, they normally don't do too much damage, except when they sneak up and kill you when you're deep in a random cave, far from home, with about 13 diamonds on you, and you die. Yeah. Not bitter about that at all. Over the years I've had a few different worlds that I've created, but one of the downsides to Minecraft is that you need to start a new save whenever they bring out an update if you want any of the new blocks or biomes that they bring out with that update. Some of the worlds I've had, I've literally spent hundreds of hours playing along with my kids and my husband, so it is a little gutting when you have to start over again. Then again, there is something nice about a fresh start and having a blank canvas, so to speak. So I suppose it's 6 of one and half a dozen of the other. Have any of you been playing any games lately? As I mentioned, I'm not a gamer, but occasionally a game will come along that really grabs my interest. A few years ago, I really got into playing Until Dawn, and for a long time I played on my husband's Final Fantasy XIV save. I wasn't any good at running any of the dungeons or raids or anything like that, so I just gathered and crafted. But eventually the game became too much of a grind. Anyone who's played that game will totally understand what I mean. Along with all the Minecraft, I've also been watching a lot of Netflix. First, I binged all 12 seasons of The Big Bang Theory, and then I moved on to Sense8, which was pretty good. I've probably watched all 12 seasons of The Big Bang Theory about 3 times now. It is one of my favourite shows, so it's something I can watch over and over again without getting bored. But I do need something else to watch now, so if you have any suggestions of good things to watch, please let me know. Plus, I'm curious to know what kind of shows you enjoy. I can imagine a lot of people have been nailing Netflix pretty hard these past few weeks to a month, as there is not a right lot else to be doing, unless you're really into baking. Cooking is not my strong suit, so I think I'll just keep to the art. Now adding details to his adorable beady little eyes. This is where he really comes to life and just looks super. My battery died, but at a super convenient time, just as I had finished painting the spider. So I went away, cleaned up the kitchen while it was recharging, hence why my nails look even more scuffed than they first did. I don't know how people keep their nails looking good. I even used top coat, but that doesn't really do much. After a day or so, they just look crappy. Now onto the bubbles. Off camera, I roughly sketched some circles just using chalk. I am adding the first layer to the bubbles using really thinned out paint as a glaze, so you can just still see the painting that's underneath. Adding some more colours and highlights to give the bubbles some more dimension. As well as this painting, I am also doing an art challenge called Acrylic April. It is a daily painting challenge where each day you complete one painting. I will be making a flip through video when I've completed the challenge, so be sure to keep an eye out for when that is posted. I'm not sure what species of spider this is, but if you know, then please let everyone know in the comments below. Last of all, adding my signature using the same colour I painted the spiderweb in, so it's not too distracting from the final composition. So that is it, this is the finished piece and I love it. How do you think I did recreating this initial design? If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you want to see more, then please consider subscribing. I upload every Tuesday at 7 PM UK time. If you have any suggestions on what you would like me to paint next, then leave them in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching, and I shall see you next time.